The real foundation block for a good society are chaste women. Adharma bhavat Krishna pradushyanti kula striyah strishu dushtasu varshneya jayate varna sankaraha. This verse holds the secret to why our current world is ridden with wars, violence, famine and pestilence. Arjuna mentions how if we kill the elders and male members, then it's going to lead to an utter loss of family traditions. And it would leave the women susceptible to pollution and corruption, which in turn would lead to unwanted, corrupt and irreligious population, bringing about a disharmony and destruction in the entire world. A spiritually cultured population is the real foundation for a peaceful society. If you look at the Vedic system, the Varnashram system, everything back in the day was meant for gradual spiritual progress for everyone in the society, independent of what gender, what caste, what class you belonged to. Because when everyone works towards the same goal of growing spiritually, of becoming more and more Krishna conscious, then real peace and prosperity can prevail. And what causes this good and spiritually cultured population? Chaste women. The real foundation block for a good society are chaste women, because they in turn would automatically lead to children who are spiritual, cultured, have good character. That is why the consciousness of parents at the time of conception is so important. In fact, it is said that a woman's chastity is as comparable to a man's austerity. Gandhari, who was the wife of Dhritarashtra, kept her eyes covered her entire life because her husband couldn't see. So she did not want to in any way be more powerful than Dhritarashtra. It is said that the power of this chastity and her devotion to her husband was as comparable to the strength and prowess and austerity that Bhishma Dev had done. And Bhishma Dev was a lifelong brahmachari. And on the other hand, what happens when we have irresponsible men and unchaste women? The production of Varna Sankaraha, unwanted progeny, corrupt population. These are people who are devoid of any Vedic rituals, any regulative principles. And the best example of these back in the 60s and 70s were the hippies, people who would engage in unrestricted sense enjoyment. The Varnasankara are people who lack any basic decency, do not have a good character, are short-lived, and are unhinged in their sense gratification, and they would do anything to covet someone else's wife or property. And imagine when such people occupy leadership roles, we see the corrupt world that is now prevalent around us, a world that is ridden with wars, pestilence, pandemics, violence, unhinged murders and crimes, which is becoming more and more of a hellish society. But thankfully, even for that, Krishna has given a solution. And that is the Bhagavad-gītā. As we gain knowledge from a bona fide spiritual teacher and understand that we are not this body but the spirit soul and align our actions accordingly, it's called initiation into spiritual life or a second birth. And that's why the hippies became happies, because bhakti yoga and devotional service is so blissful that you automatically start losing taste for everything else. A very interesting and very insightful verse to look at. Please share your realizations in the comments. Hare Krishna.